If you are over 60 and you are still drinking plain water the same way you did in your 40s, and your doctor has never once told you there is a problem with that, you need to hear what I'm about to say before you reach for your next glass. Because here's what the research has confirmed, and what most primary care visits never get around to mentioning. Plain water on its own is no longer doing the full job it once did in your body. Not because water changed, because you did. A 2022 review published in Nutrients examined hydration efficiency in adults over 60 and found that cellular water uptake declined by up to 37% compared to younger adults. Even when total fluid intake remained identical, that means seniors can drink the same amount of water as a 40-year-old and absorb meaningfully less of it at the cellular level. Less absorption into the skin, less delivery to joint tissue, less support for the collagen forming processes that determine how your face holds itself, how your joints move, and how your skin repairs overnight. In the next 14 minutes, I am going to show you exactly why plain water falls short after 60, what one simple addition changes that equation at the biological level, and the specific method that actually works, because most people using this are doing it completely wrong and getting almost none of the benefit. I have spent decades working with older adults on exactly these questions. And what I am sharing today is not a beauty trend, it is basic aging physiology that deserves a clear explanation. Before we go further, drop a comment right now with just your age, just a number, nothing else. I want to see who is watching this, because what I am about to share applies very differently depending on whether you are 62, 71, or 80. The cellular changes we are talking about accelerate at different rates depending on your decade. And if you have ever noticed that you drink water throughout the day, but your skin still looks dry or thin by evening, or your joints still feel stiff in the morning despite staying hydrated, add the word dry to your comment. That detail matters, and you will understand exactly why in about 3 minutes. Here is what happens in a typical consultation every single day. A 68-year-old woman comes in. She is diligent. She tracks her water intake. She drinks 8 glasses a day without fail. Her doctor reviews her labs, tells her everything looks fine, and sends her home. Nobody asks about her skin. Nobody asks about her joint comfort. Nobody asks whether the water she is drinking is actually reaching the tissues that need it. 6 months later, she is back. Her skin looks more papery than it did before. Her knuckles ache in the morning. She mentions it feels like her body just does not absorb anything the way it used to. And the response is usually the same. That is just aging, keep drinking your water, take a multivitamin. But here is what that consultation missed. The question was never how much water she was drinking. The question was whether her aging biology could still convert that water into cellular hydration, collagen support, and tissue repair. And the honest answer, based on everything we now know about how digestion and absorption change after 60, is that it cannot. Not without help. This scenario is not rare, it is the default. And the gap between what current research tells us about hydration in aging bodies and what most people are actually told in a standard appointment, that gap is costing people years of preventable skin deterioration, joint discomfort, and internal inflammation. Now, if you are someone who wants to understand the why behind the habit, not just be told what to do, then what I am about to explain is going to give you a completely different way of thinking about hydration as you age. Your relationship with water at 65 is not the same as it was at 40, and that is not a failure, it is biology. But it demands a different approach, and here's why. The first change is aquaporin decline. Aquaporins are the protein channels embedded in your cell membranes that act as doorways for water molecules. Think of them like intake valves on a filtration system. When those valves are working at full capacity, water moves efficiently from your bloodstream into your skin cells, your cartilage cells, your connective tissue. After 60, aquaporin expression decreases measurably. Water is present in the bloodstream, but the doors into the cells are partly closed. The delivery truck arrives, but the loading dock is understaffed. The second change is gastric acid reduction. After 60, stomach acid production declines significantly, a condition called hypochlorhydria. This matters far beyond digestion. Stomach acid is required to ionize minerals before they can be absorbed. Magnesium, zinc, calcium. The minerals your collagen-forming enzymes depend on pass through a weakened digestive system without being fully unlocked. The nutrients arrive, but the mechanism that makes them bioavailable is operating at reduced capacity. The third change is collagen synthesis slowdown. Collagen production declines at roughly 1% to 2% per year after 50. By 65, the cumulative deficit is substantial. And because absorption is already compromised, simply eating more of the right nutrients does not solve the problem problem the way it would in a younger body. The raw material is there. The infrastructure to process it is not. These are fundamental shifts that demand a different approach, and yet most hydration advice is written as if none of them exist. So what is the single most effective, most accessible addition you can make to your daily water that addresses all three of those biological changes at once? It is fresh lemon juice, half a fresh lemon, squeezed into warm water first thing in the morning before anything else enters your system. That is the complete answer. And I understand that might sound almost insultingly simple after everything I just described, but stay with me because the mechanism behind why this works is not simple at all. And the way most people do this is wrong enough to cancel most of the benefit. Let me start with the aquaporin problem. One of the primary triggers for aquaporin channel expression is a mild drop in cellular osmotic pressure. Essentially, a signal that the cell's internal environment has shifted and water needs to move in. Warm water taken at rest, without competing food molecules, creates exactly that condition. The warmth enhances peripheral circulation. The absence of competing solutes allows the water to move more freely. You are not just adding liquid. You are creating the physiological conditions for that liquid to actually enter the cells. Cold water does the opposite. Cold triggers a mild vascular constriction in the gut lining that reduces both circulation and absorption in the 20 minutes following intake. For younger adults, this is a minor inconvenience. For a 70-year-old with already compromised aquaporin function, it is the difference between water that hydrates and water that passes through. This is why seniors who switch from cold morning water to warm morning water frequently report that something just feels different within a week. Better digestion, less bloating, a clarity in the morning that they had stopped expecting. Now add the lemon. Vitamin C, in its natural form from fresh lemon juice, is taken up by the gut through a transporter called SVCT2, sodium-dependent vitamin C transporter 2. This transporter is more active in a fasted, slightly acidic environment, which is exactly what warm lemon water in the morning creates. The bioavailability of vitamin C from fresh lemon juice consumed this way is measurably higher than vitamin C consumed with food or through supplements taken later in the day. Why does that matter for your skin? Because vitamin C is the rate-limiting cofactor in collagen synthesis. It is required for the hydroxylation of proline and lysine, two amino acids that form the cross-links giving collagen its structural integrity. Without adequate vitamin C at the enzymatic level, your body produces collagen that is structurally weaker. The framework is built, but the reinforcing connections between fibers are incomplete. That is why vitamin C deficiency shows up first in skin and connective tissue, the tissues most dependent on collagen quality. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutrition followed 4,025 women between the ages of 40 and 74 over a 7-year period. Researchers found that higher dietary vitamin C intake was independently associated with a 36% reduction in the likelihood of dry or wrinkled skin appearance, even after adjusting for sun exposure, smoking status, and total caloric intake. A separate 2020 study in Nutrients found that vitamin C supplementation in adults over 60 with low baseline levels improved skin hydration markers and reduced transepidermal water loss, the measurement of how much moisture your skin leaks into the environment, by 28% within 8 weeks. That is the collagen mechanism. But fresh lemon does something else that bottled lemon juice, vitamin C tablets, and lemon-flavored waters do not. Lemon juice contains flavonoids, specifically hesperidin and areocitrin, that have been shown in clinical research to reduce systemic inflammation markers and improve endothelial function, which is the health of the lining of your blood vessels. Better endothelial function means better microcirculation. Better microcirculation means that the nutrients you absorb, including the vitamin C from the lemon itself, reach the dermal layer of your skin and the synovial tissue of your joints more efficiently. You are not just adding a nutrient, you are improving the delivery network that carries all nutrients. A 2019 trial published in the European Journal of Nutrition followed 67 adults over 55 who consumed a lemon flavonoid extract daily for 12 weeks. The group showed a 22% improvement in peripheral microvascular reactivity compared to placebo, a direct measure of how well small blood vessels respond to the demands of tissue nourishment. Now, let me tell you about Margaret, 74, a retired school teacher who had spent years on high-end skin serums and collagen powders with limited results. Her skin was thin and papery. Her blood work showed vitamin C in the low normal range, technically not deficient, but far below what collagen synthesis operates optimally at. She was drinking 9 glasses of water a day, all of it cold, all of it alongside meals and coffee. We changed one thing: warm water with half a fresh lemon every morning before coffee, before food, before anything else. At 8 weeks, she returned. Her skin was visibly more hydrated. The lines across her forehead had softened. She said her knees felt less stiff when she got out of bed. She asked if something else might explain it. It did not. The mechanism explains it entirely. Be completely honest with yourself right now. When you drink your water in the morning, is it warm or cold? And do you drink it before food or alongside it? Comment warm or cold below, because those two variables determine whether everything else you're doing with hydration is actually working or not. The fix: first, switch your morning water to warm. Not hot. Warm, the temperature of a comfortable bath. Hot water can denature some of the flavonoids in fresh lemon. Second, use only fresh lemons, not bottled lemon juice, not vitamin C packets. Bottled juice is pasteurized, which destroys heat-sensitive flavonoids and reduces vitamin C content by up to 60% from the fresh squeezed baseline. Third, squeeze half a lemon, not a quarter. Research showing measurable effects use doses corresponding to approximately 25 to 30 milligrams of vitamin C per serving, which is what half a medium lemon provides. Fourth, drink it slowly over 10 to 15 minutes. Drinking it fast creates a brief spike and rapid clearance. Drinking it slowly creates a sustained absorption window that the SVCT2 transporter is designed to use. Fifth, wait 20 minutes before coffee. Tannins in coffee bind to vitamin C and reduce bioavailability by an estimated 30 to 40%. That gap is not a minor preference. It is a difference between absorbing what you consumed and losing a meaningful portion of it. If you have sensitive teeth, use a straw. If you have a sensitive stomach, start with a quarter lemon for 2 weeks. If you are on blood thinners or have a history of kidney stones, check with your doctor first, and do not add sugar. Sugar activates glycation, the binding of glucose to collagen proteins, which directly degrades the collagen fibers you are trying to rebuild. Now, let me address the joint component, because this surprises most people. Cartilage has no direct blood supply. It receives nutrients exclusively through diffusion from the synovial fluid surrounding it. That means microcirculation quality directly determines whether your joints receive adequate repair signals during rest. When peripheral microvascular function is impaired, as it commonly is in adults, over 65, cartilage sits in a nutritionally depleted environment. Inflammation signals arrive faster than repair signals. Degradation outpaces recovery. The flavonoids in fresh lemon, specifically hesperidin, have been shown to reduce inflammatory cytokines. A 2020 study in phytotherapy research followed 102 adults over 60 with mild to moderate joint stiffness. Those receiving a hesperidin-rich citrus extract for 16 weeks reported a 31% reduction in morning stiffness scores and showed a 24% decrease in circulating interleukin-6. One of the primary inflammatory markers linked to joint degradation, many seniors notice less morning stiffness within 3 to 4 weeks of this habit. Not a dramatic cure, a functional difference between needing 5 minutes to move comfortably after getting up versus 20. That difference matters enormously when you still want to live your morning on your own terms. Let me address the most common mistake people make after learning about this habit. They do it for 4 or 5 days, notice nothing dramatic, and stop. Collagen synthesis is slow. Skin cell turnover in adults over 60 takes approximately 45 to 60 days, double the rate of younger adults. The collagen being built today will not be visible in your skin for 6 to 8 weeks. Hydration improvement comes faster, often within 2 weeks. Morning stiffness reduction within 3 to 4 weeks. Visible skin changes require at minimum 6 to 8 weeks of daily consistency. Missing 2 or 3 days per week cuts the impact by more than half. Vitamin C consumed in the morning is largely cleared from the system within 24 hours. The flavonoids follow the same curve. The mechanism requires sustained daily input. There is no shortcut and no loading dose. 30 days minimum before you evaluate results. There's also the question of what topical products can and cannot do. Collagen molecules are too large to penetrate the skin's outer barrier. They sit on the surface. Retinoids and peptides can signal fibroblast activity, but they depend on the internal collagen building infrastructure already being functional. If vitamin C levels are low and microcirculation is compromised, topical products are putting fresh paint on a wall that is structurally deteriorating underneath. Internal first, topical second, fix the foundation, and then the surface treatments have something to work with. If you have been drinking plain cold water your entire adult life and nobody ever told you that the rules change after 60, I want you to hear something clearly. That is not your failure. That is the system's failure. Aging-specific physiology is under-discussed in standard care settings. Most advice is written for younger bodies and applied broadly. You were doing what you were told, and what you were told was not specific enough to be useful. The human body's capacity for adaptation genuinely humbles me after everything I have seen over the years. Aquaporin expression can be supported. Collagen synthesis can be restarted with the right cofactors. Inflammatory markers that have been elevated for years can come down. These are not permanent sentences. They are conditions that respond to the right inputs. Here is what you now understand that most people around you have not fully thought through. Plain water's effectiveness is not constant across a lifetime. Absorption efficiency declines with age, and that decline is specific and addressable. Vitamin C's role in collagen synthesis is rate limiting. The entire process slows when it is insufficient. And microcirculation is not a cosmetic concern. It is the highway that determines whether nutrients reach every tissue that depends on them. You are no longer guessing about hydration. You understand the mechanism. You can ask better questions. You can read a label and know what it is and is not doing. You can notice the difference between a change that is working and one that is not, because you understand the timeline. That informed agency is worth more than any single intervention on its own. Let me give you specific steps you can take starting tomorrow morning. First, buy fresh lemons today. Not bottled juice, not lemon supplements, fresh lemons. One bag will last you a week. Second, set a glass of water on your nightstand tonight, covered. In the morning, warm it for 60 seconds in the microwave or pour it from a kettle that has been off for 5 minutes. You want warm, not hot. Third, squeeze half a lemon into the warm water immediately before drinking. Do not prepare it the night before. Fresh squeezed juice begins oxidizing within 20 minutes and loses a measurable amount of its vitamin C content by morning. Fourth, drink it slowly over 10 to 15 minutes before you do anything else. Before coffee, before breakfast, before medication if possible. This is your first biological signal of the day. Fifth, track 2 things for the next 30 days. Write down your morning stiffness, how many minutes it takes to move comfortably after getting up, and your skin's appearance once a week under the same lighting, not because you need dramatic results to justify the habit, but because having a baseline makes the gradual change visible when it arrives. Sixth, do not add anything to the lemon water. No honey, no sweetener, no other supplements. Keep the morning window clean so the SVCT2 transporter can operate in the fastest state it is designed for. And finally, have an informed conversation with your doctor. Not just a checkup, a real conversation. Bring your questions. Ask specifically, what is my vitamin C level? And is my current hydration routine appropriate for my age and my specific absorption profile? You deserve a doctor who treats you as a thinking adult. If you get a dismissive answer, that is useful information too. Drop a comment right now saying lemon if this gave you something concrete today, if it answered something you have been wondering about, or if it finally explained why staying hydrated did not seem to be working the way it used to. That word in the comments tells me this reached someone who needed it. Now think of one specific person you love, a parent, a partner, a close friend who mentions their dry skin or their stiff joints every time you talk, and who has probably never heard any of this. Send them this video right now, not later. Right now, that one action might be the most practically useful thing you do for their health today. Subscribe to this channel. My mission is to give you honest, research-grounded health information that most people only find out about after something has already gone wrong. You deserve to know it before that point. In my next video, I am going to talk about the 5 common morning habits that silently accelerate collagen breakdown after 60. And at least 2 of them are things most people consider healthy. The research on this shifted my own perspective even after years of working in this field. You will not want to miss it. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice. Hydration and nutrition strategies should be individualized based on your complete health history, current medications, and any conditions managed by your physician. Never adjust or discontinue any medication or treatment without consulting your healthcare provider first. The information presented reflects current published research and is not a substitute for evaluation by a qualified medical professional.